New York, we're a gateway to the world. You see all these cases around the world, around the country. Of course, we're going to have it here.
This is not, so far, something that you get through casual contact. There has to be some prolonged exposure.
That was almost exactly a year ago today. The mayor and governor briefing New Yorkers together one day after the state's first confirmed case of COVID-19 was detected. And yeah, our world changed forever. And this is what the city's health department tweeted March 1st, 1 year ago. 10 COVID tests administered. One of them came back positive. The health department then tweeting, the risk to New Yorkers remains low. The city is fully prepared to respond. Now, a year later, more than 1.6 million New Yorkers have tested positive for COVID. More than 47,000 have died. And today I caught up with the doctor who detected that very first case right here in the city.
I remember saying to her, I think this is it. I think we have a real case here.
It's a diagnosis Dr. Angela Chen will never forget.
This patient has a fever. They've been traveling in a high-risk area and have had several sick contacts.
Dr. Chen was the attending physician at Mount Sinai for the woman who came to be known as Patient Zero, a 39-year-old healthcare worker from Manhattan who had traveled to Iran and 1 year ago was the first to test positive for COVID in New York City.
The nurse and I had gone in, and I just remember we said to each other, I hope we got this right.
You see all these cases around the world, around the country. Of course, we're going to have it here.
What doctors didn't know at the time is that Patient Zero, in reality, was one of thousands of people across New York City who had already contracted the virus. We just didn't have the testing at the time to even know about it.
It was a really scary time because we just had so little information about the virus.
At the time, health officials were still saying the risk was low. And since you couldn't get a test, we were told to stay home unless you were seriously sick, while hospitals were quickly filling up.
Everyone was just terrified, I think, of bringing the virus home.
Dr. Chen was dispatched to a COVID ward at Mount Sinai in Brooklyn. And for 4 agonizing months, her 1-year-old son was forced to stay with his grandparents in New Jersey. Their only visits through a window.
It's gut-wrenching. I missed 4 months of his life. Those are things that I'll never be able to get back. I wasn't there for when he took his first steps. I wasn't there for when he said his first words.
But one day, her son will learn about his mom's place in history, her sacrifice.
We're called on to take care of patients and to help patients in any means we know how. And I think that's kind of really the lesson that everyone has taken away from this entire year.